Hello and welcome to Message in a Moment. Just for a second today, I'd like to ask you this question. What's in your hand? What do you have that you can do something with? So many people are waiting for God to pop out of the sky and drop something down that's magical so that we can go do great things. When God does this, then I can do that. Well, let me just ask you this. What do you possess right now? If God never gave you another thing, what do you have that you could use for God's glory? I'm just going to give you a couple of thoughts about people. Moses was leading a group of a few million, and they were being pursued by the Egyptians. They came to the Red Sea, and here now we got the Egyptians behind them, the Red Sea in front of them, and Israel thought they're finished. So Moses went to God and says, "What am I going to do?" And God said, "Take what's in your hand, stretch it out, and then raise your hand toward the sea, the Red Sea." And when he did that, God didn't send him something. He said, "Use what's in your hand. Hold that rod up." And so Moses held the rod up, then he raised his hand, and the waters divided. There was a widow in the book of 2 Kings. By the way, that was in Exodus 14, if you'd like to read that story. There was a widow in 2 Kings 4, 1 through 7. And she came to the prophet and said, "My husband died. We've got great debt. And my two boys are going to have to go into servitude in order to pay the debt off. What am I going to do?" And the prophet said to her, "What do you have in your home?" She said, "I have nothing except a little oil." He said, "Well, go get all the vessels you can find, borrow them from everybody you know, and take that oil that you already have and begin to pour it." And when she did, she sent her boys out. They borrowed every vessel they could find in the whole community. And she started pouring that oil, and as she poured, she was filling every pot that they had. And she finally told the boys, "Go get me some more." They said, "There's not another one, Mom." And so but do you see the story? She didn't wait for some miracle to happen. She started using what she had. Now, that's found in 2 Kings 4, 1 through 7. Samson, in the book of Judges chapter 15, Samson was caught in a mess. There were 1,000 Philistines that were coming to attack him. He didn't have a weapon. So he looked around, and all he could find was a jawbone of a donkey. And he took that jawbone and killed 1,000 Philistines with it. He didn't wait for something to fall out of the sky. He grabbed what he could find. What's in your hand today? There were 5,000 people that were hungry. Jesus said, "We got to feed these people." And the disciples said, "We don't have a thing. Some little kid here's got 5 loaves and 2 fish. Jesus said, "That's enough." What's in your hand? I'll tell you this, when you put it in God's hand, it's enough. Because a miracle happened with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. And today, take what you have and consecrate it to God and let Him do something great in your life. Because that's what He wants to do. Well, keep working for God. Keep loving God. Walk with Him. Till tomorrow, God bless you.